Hi kids, welcome to Full Steam Ahead. Today is all about popcorn, so I hope you picked up your packet so you can pop some. Let's start off by talking about what popcorn looks like when it comes out of the ground, because it's not the same as the corn you eat at supper time. I put a piece of paper into your packet that has a picture of the three most popular kinds of corn to grow. Field corn, which is grown the most out of any kind of corn. That's the kind that we feed to livestock. So I'm looking at pigs and cows and other animals that eat corn. They eat field corn. It's kind of mush looking. In fact, they call it dent corn, and you can see in the picture there are dents in each kernel. Sweet corn is the kind that we eat, whether it's on the cob, in a can, frozen. Sweet corn looks, well, it actually looks the prettiest, but there it is, sweet corn. Now if you look at the last one, popcorn, it looks very different, and it is. You have to have a special kind of corn to make popcorn. You can't just make it out of sweet corn or field corn. A kernel of corn is actually a seed, and it has a soft, starchy middle. And there's a teeny tiny bit of moisture in there. It's mostly dried out, but that teeny bit of moisture is very important, because when the kernel is heated up to 400 degrees, the water turns to steam, and that steam expands and tries to get out, and all that pressure finally puts a crack in that hard shell, turning it inside out, and your kernel of popcorn will be 40 times bigger than the original kernel. Archaeologists have found popcorn that is 5,000 years old. And guess what? It's still popped. Oh, I wonder if it tasted good. Popcorn is the first kind of corn that the natives in the North Americas learned to eat. They didn't have plants of sweet corn yet. That took making and changing the way the corn grows to get a different kind. The first corn that grew was popcorn. And they noticed that if it was near the fire or in hot sand, that sometimes it would pop. And that's how they got the idea for it. They ate it plain, true. They didn't put butter on it like we do. But those native North Americans could make popcorn beer and popcorn soup. And they even used it in jewelry. Like when you string popcorn to put on a Christmas tree, they strung popcorn and put it on a necklace. So they were making it for thousands of years. And then who shows up but the colonists? Think of the Pilgrims coming over on the Mayflower. And they showed them all the plants that they could use that were here in North America. But popcorn was something brand new. Colonists had never seen that in England or other parts of Europe. It's native to our part of the world. So they showed them how to make popcorn pop. And the colonists loved it. And you know what they love to do with it? Put milk and sugar on it and have it like cereal. That's weird, huh? Think about it. You take a big old bowl of popcorn, pour some milk and sugar on it, and eat it like cereal. Maybe you want to give it a try. Who knows? It might be delicious. So people ate popcorn in our country for a very long time. So the colonists, that was the 16 and 1700s, and then finally in the 1800s, they figured out a way to have like a machine at the side of the road. It started as a peanut roasting machine, but they found that it also cooked popcorn really easy, and they could bring it to parties and make money selling popcorn. Popcorn is very cheap to make, and they could sell it and do that for business. Awesome. Now, people were gobbling up popcorn a lot, but they started to use it even more, and there's a reason why. When the Depression and World War II happened. People, one, didn't have a lot of extra money, so they had to have inexpensive things to eat. And two, sugar was rationed, so they weren't making as many candy bars or bubble gum or other treats that people liked. So people turned to popcorn. It was inexpensive and it was available. And it was also great at the movie theater. Oh, movie theaters made a mint selling popcorn to people, watching their movie, gobbling up their popcorn, having a great time. And then something not so good for popcorn happened. People got television sets in their house in the 50s. They no longer went to the movie theater as much. They didn't eat all that popcorn. What are we going to do? Well, they decided that it would be a great idea to sell popcorn for people to make at home. And we'll show you how to do that in just a little bit. Popcorn went down in popularity again as the wars were over, people had money, there were lots of other treats to have. And then in the 80s, they developed the microwave. Microwavable popcorn was fast and easy and cheap, and it was really good for your diet. People became very concerned about eating healthy, fat-free snacks, and microwave popcorn fit the bill. So popcorn sales are up. Today, the average person eats nearly 70 quarts of popcorn a year. Somebody's eating my 70 quarts because I can't eat it. But that just means somebody, maybe Shane is eating 140 quarts, I don't know. And most of the entire world gets their popcorn from two places, Nebraska and Indiana. Those are two states right here in our country of the United States. That's where popcorn comes from. All right, I have some activities to show you. I have 100 popcorn kernels in this jar. Now to show you the difference between popped and unpopped, I'm going to try to put 100 kernels of popcorn in this jar, and we'll see how it goes. You can count along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Oh my gosh, we're not even halfway there. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Oh my God! 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, oh, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, oh, went off the table. 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100! Wow. Do you see the difference in volume? Volume is the amount of space that something takes up. And 100 kernels of unpopped popcorn has that much volume. And the same number of kernels popped has that much volume. There are other things that do the same thing. If you think about it, we did balloons last week. An unblown up balloon is very small, only has that much volume, but you fill it with air, takes up more space, has more volume. And now I am already greasy. But that's okay, we're moving on to our next. Fun with popcorn. In the book, Farmer Boy, which is one of the Little House books by Laura Ingalls Wilder, Almanzo, as a young boy, does this experiment himself in his kitchen. He takes a full glass of milk and a full glass of popcorn. He puts the full glass of popcorn into the glass of milk without spilling it or overflowing it. How does this work? Well, as you put the popcorn in, all those little air pockets that made the popcorn's volume so much bigger start to fill up with milk. The milk seeps inside. Oh, I can even hear it. Oh, if you want to do this at home, you'll hear it too. It's kind of almost a sizzly kind of sound of the holes filling up with popcorn. Now, so going over the top right now, and we don't want that. We want to show that, you can put an entire cup of popcorn into an entire cup of milk. Sizzles like bacon. There we go. The entire cup of popcorn went into a completely full cup of milk and didn't overflow. All that liquid is finding all of those holes of air and filling it up. If we put sugar on it and ate it, we'd be like the colonists right now. Oh, it looks like it gets mushy really fast. I wonder if they had that problem. Well, now that we've done those two projects, we're going to take a break and come back, and I will show you the different ways that you can make popcorn. See you in a minute. Okay, we've got some oil in a pan, and we're heating it up. It's reached 400 degrees. That means once popped, it's time to put popcorn in. So this is how most people pop popcorn in their homes. When they first made it commercially available. There you want them. It is fun to watch. There are videos on YouTube of it popping in slow motion if you want to see what it looks like. Okay, at this point I should put the lid up. And let the rest pop. That is a lot of fun. It's surprising when it pops, even though you know it's supposed to. Like jiggle it a little bit. You would never put your face right over the pan because that oil is hot and it is popping. It only took about a tablespoon of oil or so, and I put in a handful of popcorn. I did not measure. I think we're getting to the end. Kind of like when it's popping in the microwave, when the popping slows down, you know you're close to done. Nothing worse than burnt popcorn smell or burnt popcorn taste. So this is popped with oil, so it's not the absolute healthiest way you can eat popcorn, but it's close because there's no butter on it and no salt. Okay, I think I'll stop there just because I don't want any burnt. Well, doesn't that make a nice sizzly sound? All right, so then you could enjoy some delicious hot popcorn. Now, if you were a child of the 60s, like I was, there was another way to enjoy delicious popcorn. It was called Jiffy Pop. They put butter or oil goo inside a tray that could take the heat. Then they put some unpopped popcorn kernels in it. They gave it a metal handle. You could do this over a campfire. That was a fun thing to do when I was little. There are special campfire. My director's making fun of me. There are special camping popcorn poppers. But if you didn't have one of those, you could just go to the store and for about $1, you could buy Jiffy Pop and bring it camping with you. Or use it on your stove at home. So we'll let that heat up. Again, whatever oil or grease is in there has to heat up to 400 degrees to get the steam in the popcorn kernel to burst its way out. So first the butter goo heats up, then the kernel heats up, then the water inside the kernel heats up, turns into steam, and kapowie. Oh, I'm hearing sizzling. Oh, the butter, whatever they've used, it says butter in here. Butter flavored popcorn. So we're not 100% sure what the fat is that's helping this. So saying popcorn is a very healthy treat. So even this batch cooked in oil, there isn't enough oil on the popcorn for it to be a fattening treat. And this doesn't even have salt on it. So this is a starch, but it's a good starch. Once you start adding butter, cheese flavor, salt, all that to it, that's the only thing that's going to make it more of a dessert. I don't know, we always did this when I was little too. I don't know if that does anything, but... Oh, here it goes. So instead of letting the popcorn fly all over the place or having to put a lid on it, the Jiffy Pop people just put some tin foil on top. And as the popcorn pops, it's pressing the tin foil out of the way. Ta-da. Another bonus, you don't dirty any pans. I wish you guys were here with me. First of all, you'd be smelling this delicious smell. Secondly, you see it up close and in person. And third, you could eat it with me. Oh, if you were here, we could have a taste test. You could test the popped in oil without the salt or butter. You could taste this, which we could read the ingredient list on because I bet it says a lot of stuff about salt and butter flavoring being in this, so it's going to taste different. I wonder which one you'd like better. Reminds me of standing in front of the microwave and telling it to hurry up. Hurry up and pop! I see a little bit of steam escaping out here. I'm making faces because it's supposed to pop a lot faster and puffier than this. And I'm kind of hoping I didn't either heat it up wrong or get it done packaged. Let it keep going for another minute. Okay, I'm getting burnt popcorn smell. minute. Hi guys. Upon inspection, I figured out the problem. The tinfoil had come away from the seal. The seal had been broken. So there were some places where the tinfoil was lifted just a little bit, enough for the heat to escape. With all that heat escaping, the oil that was inside didn't stay hot enough to pop all the kernels, and it just really heated up the goo, and that made a burnt mess. Let's just take a quick peek. I'm dying to see what it looks like inside. When I was little, this thing would go. You can try it yourself at home if you get some Jiffy Pop, or you can probably find a YouTube video of Jiffy Pop blowing up the way it's supposed to. Yep, so we have some popped kernels on top that we're starting to push the tin foil up. But at the bottom, we have just a whole tray of really overcooked but not popped kernels. So, what do inventors do? Inventors solve problems. Here we have a problem. Sometimes the Jiffy Pop works, sometimes it doesn't. How do we solve the problem? Well, in order to create a seal that doesn't come apart, they made it into a bag. They put the same kind of goo in the bottom, that's in the bottom of the Jiffy Pop with the kernels on top, but they put it in a sealed bag, nowhere for the heat to escape. And in the 1980s, this became America's favorite at-home treat. Now, most microwaves have a popcorn button on them, but I want you to be careful because the machine does not know, first of all, how much popcorn you're putting in. The bags I gave you were smaller bags, and that's what I'm putting in here. They wouldn't take as long as a big bag of popcorn. So even though it says popcorn, don't leave your microwave unattended when you're popping popcorn, or you could end up with something worse than Jiffy Pop. Let's see, I'm going to push the popcorn button, but as it cooks, I'm going to listen. They'll start off slow with some pops as those first kernels reach 400 degrees. And then they'll all start popping at once. You've seen microwave popcorn before, right? You know, it goes boom, 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 really fast. And then it will start to slow down. Now, if I wanted to make sure every single kernel was popped, I would leave it in longer. But it's better to have some really good tasting popcorn with a few kernels left in the bottom than to have overcooked or burnt popcorn with more kernels popped. So far, it started. We've had a few pops. Oh, more pops. Exploding pops. Multiple pops. I could even take it out now if I wanted to, but that would leave a lot of kernels on top. So I'll give it a little more time. Not slowing down yet. Slowing down a little bit. Want to take it out again. So don't have to worry about burns. Now, I know sometimes you're making a snack, you want to get to it right away, but microwave popcorn is very hot. You want to leave it for a little bit. I always do a little shake in case there's a kernel just about to pop. I certainly don't want it to pop on me. No one else popping? All right. Then, oh, sure. I'm just a maniac. Aha! Oh, that smells so much better than the Jiffy Pop. Oh yeah, that's popcorn right there. You can see some of the oil still on the side, just like you would have oil in the bottom of the pan. But again, they've added a little bit of butter and a little bit of salt to this. So it's ready to eat. You don't need to add anything to it, but it's going to be a little more of a treat than plain popped corn. Okay, so we tried in a pan, worked fine. Jiffy Pop had a little malfunction. Microwave, delicious snack. I'm going to clean this up, and we're going to come back with just 2 more things to do, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, it's time to make our craft, and the craft we're making today is a personalized popcorn box to put your popcorn in. Now, I have colored mine with red magic marker and wrote my name on it. Of course, you can decorate yours however you want. You should totally decorate it before you fold it. Trying to use a marker or crayon or paint or stickers or anything on something that is 3-dimensional is really tricky. So you want to do that while it's flat. So color it in while it's flat. And you're going to fold on all those dotted lines. Cut on the straight lines and fold on dotted lines. So let's start folding that dotted line. And make the creases really nice and sharp. That will help make the popcorn box stand up. All of those folded lines. There's a lot of folded lines. That one and that one. Reminds me of making a pizza box, but that's another treat. One more fold. Nope, that's all of them. Okay. So now you got something that looks like this, almost like a flat-topped pyramid. Now, the lips on the bottom are going to be folded up so that they can be taped to the inside of the popcorn box. You could use glue if you wanted, glue stick, but I'm going to use tape because it's the quickest way to show you. It might take a minute. Once you get that first piece of tape on, it becomes easier. You can tape on the outside or the inside. It's up to you. I'm taping on the outside because I'm thinking if food is going on the inside, maybe I should do the tape on the outside. Let me see, maybe just one more place to reinforce it on the bottom. Now you have a popcorn box. Well, to wind us down today, let's finish with a couple of games. I put a paper in your envelope, popcorn games to play. If you're by yourself, here's one. Hope you have a lot of air in your lungs left after balloons last week because this takes a lot of suction power. You suck on the straw and stick it into the popcorn so the popcorn gets stuck on the straw. Bring it over to the popcorn box and either breathe out or just stop sucking in, like this. So you can try to beat your own time if you're playing by yourself. If you're playing against someone, you can see who can get their box full faster. Other games to play. Well, there are aiming games if you like to aim. Who doesn't like to aim? What if your friend or your sibling or your parent was holding your popcorn box and you tried to toss it into the popcorn box? That's one game you could play. You could see who can throw popcorn the farthest. Is that appropriate? Is that going to make a mess? And it might make a little bit of a mess. And then one we used to play at parties when I was a kid, you put the popcorn cup on the floor and you stand up and you drop it in. You think it would be easy, but as you can see, I'm only dropping it this far and I can't get it in. So imagine it's on the floor, you just stand right over it. Ah, finally got it in. So, you can play popcorn games, you can just eat the popcorn, whatever you want to do. You've got plenty of popcorn to work with. I hope you had fun today. Hope you learned a little bit of something about popcorn. And I'll see you next week when our topic will be the fall leaves outside. Have a great week, guys.